Chapter 1. Xiaoyun woke up and rubbed her aching forehead. When she opened her eyes, she found herself in an unfamiliar environment. She was lying on a tattered bed covered with straw. Her body was covered with a thin quilt, which had a musty smell. Around her were dilapidated walls that were covered with dust. There was nothing else in the room except for a brick table that was missing half a leg. Xiaoyun's eyes turned, and she wanted to support her body to get up. What the hell is this place? She was a police officer. She chased after a thief on the road and was accidentally hit by a car. When she woke up again, she was already here. Mother, you're awake? Does your head still hurt? At this time, a child walked into the room. He was a boy of 3 or 4 years old. His voice was soft and Xiaoyun's heart softened. However, this child was thin and his face was sallow. His pair of big eyes were sunken in. It was obvious that he was malnourished for a long time. The clothes on his body were also somewhat tattered and did not fit. It looked like they were made from adult clothes. Was there anyone in the modern world who was so poor that they would make their child look like this? Xiaoyun was stunned. For a moment, she was unable to come back to her senses. Mother? Was this child calling her? Mother, why are you ignoring Daodu? When the child saw that Xiaoyun was not speaking, he was a little scared. Xiaoyun rubbed her forehead and asked uncertainly, You're Daodu? I'm your mother? After Xiaoyun said this, the child's bright black eyes were covered with a layer of mist. He looked at Xiaoyun pitifully. Mother, do you not recognize Daodu? Xiaoyun looked at the child's aggrieved and sad face and her heart could not help but ache. Daodu. Hiss, her head hurt even more. In an instant, another person's memory emerged in Xiaoyun's mind. Xiaoyun knew that this memory did not belong to her. She had indeed transmigrated into this body. Her name was the same as hers, Xiaoyun. The original Xiaoyun went up the mountain to cut firewood. She accidentally tripped and fell, knocked her head and fainted on the mountain. Fortunately, when the village's hunter Lu Lei went into the mountain, he found Xiaoyun and sent Xiaoyun back. However, the original Xiaoyun was still dead, and the current Xiaoyun's soul crossed over. Mother, you don't want Daodu anymore, right? The baby began to cry sadly. Xiaoyun's heart was also a little more sour. A child who was only a few years old, if he lost his mother, how pitiful would that be? Daodu, mother just had a headache and forgot a lot of things. How can I not want Daodu? Xiaoyun softly coaxed. As she spoke, she hugged the child into her arms. Daodu, don't cry. The child felt the warmth of Xiaoyun's body and immediately stopped crying. The child's face was still stained with sparkling and translucent tears. Xiaoyun gently wiped away the tears on the child's face. At this time there was a sound of footsteps outside the door. Yun girl, are you home? The voice of an old woman sounded outside. Xiaoyun knew from the original owner's memory that this person was her grandmother, xuanhuan. Chapter 3. Xiaoyun's eyes were instantly filled with a layer of coldness, and the corners of her lips curled into a sneer. She was wondering why xuanhuan had come over to curry favor for no reason. So this was what she had in mind. Without waiting for xuanhuan to continue persuading her, Xiaoyun coldly rejected her. No way. As she spoke, Xiaoyun began to chase xuanhuan and the others out. Xuanhuan immediately became anxious and couldn't help but scold. You wretched girl, are you trying to anger me to death? Aren't I doing this for your own good? Look, you're an unmarried girl with a child by your side. Do you know how many people are gossiping about you? Even our old Zhao family is being laughed at by so many people. If we give Daodu away, you're still young and can still find a husband. Li Chuiying chimed in from behind. That's right, Yun. Your grandmother is doing this for your own good. If we give Daodu away to a wealthy family, he'll be able to enjoy life there. When he becomes the young master of that family, he'll be served lavishly every day. It's not like we're selling Daodu away. Xiaoyun felt disgusted by the way the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law echoed each other. Second aunt, since that's the case, why don't you send your Yang away to enjoy life? My Daodu and I are used to living a hard life. We don't need that, Xiaoyun replied coldly. The Yang that Xiaoyun was referring to was Li Chuiying's precious eldest grandson, who was also the child of Xiaoyun's eldest cousin brother. He was about the same age as Daodu. Li Chuiying didn't know what to say to Xiaoyun for a moment. When did this last become so eloquent? Li Chuiying angrily complained to xuanhuan. Mother, look, this damn girl doesn't know what's good for her. Xuanhuan narrowed her eyes and a glint flashed through her small eyes. She was thinking about how to persuade Xiaoyun. He hadn't noticed it before, but now he had calmed down. He increasingly felt that the xiaoyuner in front of him was like a different person. In the past he had a soft personality. How would he dare to go against them? This time he actually turned the sky upside down and quarreled with the elders. Mother, if she doesn't listen when we talk nicely, then we'll snatch her. Just grab that little bastard. Li Chuang was also impatient, and she couldn't go on with Zhao Yunhe. Since Zhao Yunhe refused to listen to reason, then don't blame them for using force. Speaking of snatching the child, Dao Du hid behind Zhao Yunhe in fear. His small body couldn't help but tremble because of fear. Zhao Yunhe's eyes became sharper and more vigilant. She shielded Dao Du. Xuanhuan also felt that they couldn't continue to waste time like this, so she nodded. They had to take this child back. The mother-in-law and daughter-in-law looked at each other. They were ready to take action. There were 3 of them and Zhao Yunhe was alone. It was naturally easy to snatch the child. However, Xuanhuan and the others didn't expect Zhao Yunhe to suddenly fly into a rage. They didn't know if it was because she was protective of her child, but her skills were very good. In a short while she knocked them to the ground. Xuanhuan was old. How could she withstand the fall? She sat on the ground and began to shout in pain. Then mother won't give Dao Du away in the future, right? The little boy was a little worried because of what Xuanhuan and the others said. Zhao Yunhe patted Dao Du's head. Of course not, no one can take Dao Du away from mother. Dao Du will never leave mother. On this side, while Zhao Yunhe and Dao Du were deeply affectionate, Xuanhuan and her daughter-in-law were not in such a good mood. Especially Li Chuang. Chapter 5. Xuanhuan was also angry, and Li Chuang's words made her even angrier. That wretched girl. I've been too polite to her. I have to teach her a lesson. But mother, we don't know where that girl got her skills from. We can't beat her. How did we get that bastard here? Li Chuang asked. Of course we have to think of a way. Can't you use your brain and think about it? Xuanhuan said. Li Chuang curled her lips and began to think hard. The reason why the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law were so persistent was that Dao Du was too valuable to them. There was a rich family in the town. The rich old man couldn't give birth to a son, so he went to the various villages to look for boys. If they were sent to him to be his son, he would directly give him 200 taels of silver and some other benefits. In ancient times, 200 taels of silver was not a small amount. It was enough to buy a lot of things. 1 mu of land was only 7 or 8 taels of silver. However, the people in the countryside valued boys over girls, and the idea of boys carrying on the family line was very serious. Unless the family really couldn't survive, otherwise they would never sell or give away the boys at home. After Xuanhuan's mother-in-law and daughter-in-law heard about this matter, they thought about the 200 taels of silver and started to have designs on Dao Du. Mother, let third brother's wife go later. That girl listens to third brother's wife the most. If she still doesn't agree, let third brother break that wretched girl's legs. I don't believe that she has the ability to go against her parents. Li Chuang suddenly thought of this idea and said excitedly. The saliva in her mouth splashed and splashed on Feng Xianxia's face. Feng Xianxia couldn't help but feel nauseous. Her second sister-in-law's saliva was so strong and smelly that she wanted to vomit just by smelling it. Xuanhuan's eyes lit up when she heard Li Chuang's words. She thought that Li Chuang's idea was good. Let's go back quickly and talk to third brother and his wife. Zhao Yunhe's forehead still had some pain. After using all her strength, her whole body also seemed to be a little sore. In the end, it was because the original owner's body was too weak. In the past few years, the mother and daughter had not eaten many full meals. Their nutrition could not keep up, so how could their bodies be well? Before, there was no other way. The original owner was a girl with a baby behind her. She couldn't do anything. But now that she had transmigrated, things were different. From now on, she couldn't let Dao Du continue to starve with her. She had to take good care of her body. Otherwise, she wouldn't have enough strength to fight. Gugu, Dao Du's stomach growled. Dao Du raised his head and looked at Zhao Yunhe in embarrassment before rubbing his stomach. Dao Du must be hungry. Mother will go and cook, Zhao Yunhe said. Mother, Dao Du will help you with the fire. The baby obediently followed over. Zhao Yunhe followed the original owner's memories to the kitchen. Although it was called a kitchen, it was just a simple shed built with a few pieces of wood. One side of it was attached to her house. There was a simple stove in the shed. When they first moved to this house, they didn't have a stove. It was the village's hunter Lu Lei who helped build it. Chapter 6. Zhao Yunhe knew that Lu Lei was interested in her. She also felt that Lu Lei was a good person. It was just that she was dragging a baby behind her. The reason why she didn't want to be with Lu Lei was because she didn't want to wrong Daodu. Secondly, she didn't want to compromise. Thirdly, Lu Lei was such a good person. He would naturally be able to find a girl who would treat him better. Zhao Yun went to the front of the stove. In addition to a cold pot, there were only a few broken bowls on the stove, as well as oil jars and salt jars that had already reached the bottom. As for food, there was only a little bit of flour left. She estimated that after 2 more meals, there would be nothing left to eat. Zhao Yun secretly sighed in her heart. No matter what, she had to earn money and find food in the shortest time possible. She couldn't let Daodu starve. Although there was some pressure for a modern person from the 21st century, she didn't believe that she couldn't do it with her own hands and brain. "Mother, what are we eating for lunch?" Daodu came over and asked in a childish voice. Perhaps he was really hungry and wanted to eat something. "Mother will make noodles for Daodu for lunch, okay?" Daodu nodded heavily. When he smiled, 2 shallow dimples appeared on his face. "Okay, Daodu will eat whatever mother makes." Zhao Yun patted Daodu's head. "Daodu, be good." There was only a little flour. Other than making noodles, she really couldn't think of anything else to make. After filling a bowl with flour, Zhao Yun began to roll out the noodles. Speaking of which, her cooking skills weren't bad. It was difficult for women who were police officers to get married. In her previous life, her appearance was also average. Her mother was afraid that she wouldn't be able to get married, so she forced her to practice her cooking skills. She said that to grasp a man's heart, she had to grasp a man's taste. What she lacked in appearance and personality, she could make up for with her cooking skills. As time went by, it was hard for her culinary skills not to improve. After rolling out the noodles, Zhao Yun saw some vegetables planted in the corner of the room. She pulled a handful of them and put them into the noodles to cook. When Daodu saw that Zhao Yun was done with her work, he became angry. His movements were very skillful, and the sound of burning wood could be heard from the stove. It was said that children from poor families matured early, and it was true. Daodu was still so young. Even now, he was still a little emperor who was pampered by his family. How could he do so many things? Speaking of which, Daodu was only 3 years old. Such a young child, yet he was so sensible that Zhao Yun felt sorry for him. When the pot was heated up, Zhao Yun poured some oil into the pot and poured more than half of the remaining oil. After the oil heated up, it emitted a fragrant aroma. The mother and daughter immediately swallowed their saliva. The little guy's eyes glanced at the pot from time to time. It seemed that he was very hungry. When the oil was heated up, she added some water. After the water boiled, she put in the noodles. After a while, the noodles were cooked. When it was almost ready, Zhao Yun put in the cabbage. After it was cooked, she began to ladle out the noodles. After each person had a big bowl, she brought it into the room and placed it on the table. She waited for it to cool down before eating. At this time, a man's rough voice came from outside the door. "Yunner, it was Lu Lei." He stuttered a little as he replied, You're welcome, Brother Lei, are you thirsty? Do you want to come in for a drink?" Zhao Yunner invited him. "There's no need, Yunner. If a man like me enters your house, you'll be gossiped about." Lu Lei hurriedly refused. In this village there were many gossipy old women. If people knew that he entered Zhao Yunner's house, who knew what kind of things he would be said about him? He didn't care. A man like him was thick-skinned, so it wasn't a big deal to be scolded. However, Zhao Yunner was different. "Little girl Yun, aren't you going a bit too far by doing this? Look at how badly you've hurt him." The one who said this was an old woman who usually liked to gossip. She joined Qin Hailan in criticizing Zhao Yunner. Chapter 12. Mother, Daodu likes to follow you. Zhao Yunner smiled helplessly. Okay, then Daodu will follow me." "Aha." Zhao Yunner turned around and went back into the house. She took out everything that could be taken out to dry. There was really too little stuff in the house. After tidying up, Zhao Yunner began to think about how to earn money, not just to fill her and Daodu's stomachs. Not only did the food in the house run out, but the bedding and furniture also had to be replaced. In addition, this rundown house was simply not suitable for living. She also had to spend money to build a new house. Daodu was so young he couldn't suffer too much with her. But how could she earn money? Zhao Yunner thought about it carefully. She didn't have an acre of land and she didn't have any amazing skills. If she wanted to earn money in the shortest time possible, it seemed that she had to go to the mountain behind the house and try her luck. There were many plants and animals on the mountain, perhaps she could find some treasures. She should do it. Zhao Yunner thought and went into the house. She took a sickle and a kitchen knife, then carried a basket and prepared to go up the mountain. When Daodu saw this, he asked, "Mother, where are you going?" "Mother wants to go into the mountain like your Uncle Lu, to find delicious food for you. Later, I can exchange it for money and then I can buy more good things for Daodu." The world of children was simple. When Daodu heard Zhao Yun'er say this, he quickly nodded in response. "Okay, mother, Daodu also wants to go." Zhao Yun'er looked at Daodu's injuries and said, "Daodu, you can't go. Stay at home." Daodu looked at Zhao Yun'er pitifully. "But mother, Daodu just wants to go with us." When Zhao Yun'er saw Daodu like this, her heart softened. She thought that it was not safe to leave Daodu alone at home. Xuanhuan and the others still wanted to give Daodu away. Who knew if they would snatch Daodu away when she was not at home? On the contrary, it would be safer to have Daodu by his side. "Alright, then Daodu will go up the mountain with mother, but he might be very tired." "Is Daodu afraid of being tired?" "Don't be afraid, mother, Daodu is not afraid of being tired." "Alright, let's go." Zhao Yun'er greeted him and held Daodu's hand as they walked up the mountain together. The road at the foot of the mountain was relatively easy to walk on. Usually, there were many people who went into the mountain to cut firewood. The higher they went, the more difficult it was to walk. It was already spring, and the vegetation on the mountain was beginning to flourish. Zhao Yun'er paid attention to the road under her feet as she walked. There were many thorny plants in the bushes, and if she was not careful, she might cut her leg. At the beginning, Zhao Yun'er was still holding Daodu's hand. Later, she directly let Daodu sit in the basket on her back. "Mother, are you tired?" Pigeon eggs were similar to chicken eggs. They tasted quite good when cooked or stir-fried. Now that Zhao Yun'er and Daodu could not eat chicken eggs, they were a rare thing in the countryside. They were usually saved up to exchange for silver or to nourish their bodies. Okay. Daodu smiled resplendently. "Mother, be careful when you climb the tree. Don't fall." Chapter 14. As Zhao Yun'er spoke, she nimbly climbed up the tree. In her previous life as a police officer, her skills were naturally good. Although it was a little bad for her to transmigrate into Zhao Yun'er's body, she still remembered the skills of climbing trees. Zhao Yun'er climbed to the top of the tree in a short while like a monkey. She saw 7 or 8 pigeon eggs lying in the pigeon nest. Zhao Yun'er carefully took out the pigeon eggs and put them in her pocket. When she was about to climb down the tree, she looked up and saw a huge beehive hidden in the middle of the trees. She could still hear the sound of bees inside. Zhao Yun'er's movements were even more gentle. These bees should not be disturbed. If she was stung by a bee, her body would definitely swell up. If it was a large hornet, her life might be in danger. After Zhao Yun'er carefully climbed down the tree, she held the pigeon eggs in her pocket in front of Daodu and smiled. "Daodu, look, these are the pigeon eggs that mother made." Daodu looked at Zhao Yun'er with eyes full of worship. "Mother, you are amazing." Daodu's mother is of course amazing. Let's go to other places and see if there are any pigeon nests. Mother will bring some back." And then, the mother and son walked through the forest, not afraid of danger. The reason why no one came to this mountain was because there were indeed some wild beasts. Another reason was that there were rumors that there were man-eating demons deep in the mountains. Therefore, no villagers dared to enter the mountains. It was also because of this that some of the wild resources in the mountains were not touched. Along the way, Zhao Yun'er saw a lot of pigeon nests. There were a total of 40 to 50 pigeon eggs and 3 pigeons. These pigeons were similar to chickens. When the time comes, they could be stewed into soup for Daodu to nourish his body. At the same time, Zhao Yun'er also discovered that there were a lot of beehives in the mountains. Not far away, one could find one on a tree branch. If there were bees in the beehive, then there would also be honey. In this day and age, honey was definitely a good thing. If she could get some honey from these beehives and sell it, it would be a good way to make money. However, she was in a hurry to go up the mountain today and did not prepare anything. It was unrealistic to want to get honey back. She could only wait for the next time she went into the mountains and bring all the necessary tools. Only then could she get the honey from the beehives. Today's harvest was quite good. Zhao Yun'er said to Daodu, "Daodu, let's go." "Yes, mother." "Daodu, come down and walk by yourself." Mother is tired of carrying Daodu. "Silly child, didn't I said I'm tired?" "But mother, your forehead is sweating." Daodu will help mother wipe it off. At the same time, Daodu raised his little hand and used his sleeve to wipe away the beads of sweat on Zhao Yun'er's forehead. Seeing Daodu's sensible face, Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but smile. She kissed Daodu's cheek heavily. "Thank you, Daodu. If something happened to you, mother would be worried to death." Liang Jinxiao held Zhao Yun'er's hand and said. Mother, I'm fine. I can take care of myself. I'm not a child. In order to let Daodu eat and wear warm clothes, I have to go into the mountain to find something good. Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Yun and sighed. Chapter 16. After Zhao Ping'er finished her words, she walked forward and was about to take the pigeon eggs from Zhao Yun'er's basket. Zhao Yun'er pushed Zhao Ping'er's hand away. She hadn't even said that she would give them to her, but Zhao Ping'er was being so self-conscious. Mom, look, aren't they just a few pigeon eggs? She doesn't even want to give them to us. You've given her so many good things. She's so heartless. Zhao Ping'er complained in front of Liang Jinxiao. Zhao Yun'er sneered. Zhao Ping'er was really good at sowing discord, but she wasn't easy to deal with. Sister, you have to have a conscience. When did I say that I wouldn't give them to my parents? Then why didn't you let me touch them just now? Isn't it because you don't want me to take them? Sister, you're really good at reading minds. How did you know what I was thinking? Zhao Yun'er said coldly. You? Zhao Ping'er glared at Zhao Yun'er angrily. Why didn't she realize that Zhao Yun'er was so eloquent before? She seemed to have changed into another person all of a sudden. Chapter 17. If they were to really give Daodu away, they were indeed reluctant to do so. Yun'er? All right then. Mother won't make things difficult for you. Mother will go back and have a good talk with your grandmother. Liang Jinxiao thought about it and decided to let it go. She didn't agree with giving Daodu away from the start. If it wasn't for xuanhuan making a big fuss, she wouldn't have come this time. Mother, go back and tell grandmother. She'll definitely scold you again. Zhao Ping'er said noisily. She glared at Zhao Yun'er with dissatisfaction. You selfish brat. You only think about yourself and this little bastard. You don't care about father and mother. When Zhao Yun'er heard Zhao Ping'er call Daodu a little bastard, her eyes shot out a cold light. If her parents weren't here, she really wanted to give her a few slaps. All right, Ping'er, you can't stop talking. Let's go back. Liang Jinxiao reprimanded Zhao Ping'er. Zhao Ping'er was unwilling, but she still obediently shut her mouth. Yun'er, then father and mother will go back. Take care of yourself. If there's anything, just call father and mother. Liang Jinxiao exhorted and then left. Zhao Yun'er turned around and saw that Daodu was a little disappointed. It was difficult for children to hide their emotions. Whether it was sadness or happiness, it was always written on their faces. Zhao Yun'er squatted down and hugged Daodu. Daodu is unhappy? Mother. Daodu really won't leave mother? Of course. No matter who it is, don't even think about separating Daodu and mother. But grandmother, grandfather, grandmother, and the others all want to give Daodu away. Mother didn't agree, so they can't give it to anyone. Don't worry, Daodu, mother will protect Daodu. Yes, yes. The worry on little Bun's face finally dissipated a little. In the afternoon, Zhao Yun'er tidied up the house and cleaned it inside and out. The places that could be repaired by themselves were repaired with hammers and nails. In her previous life, she was an expert in fixing all kinds of things in the office. She didn't expect that she would be of use here. However, there was nothing she could do about the holes in the walls and the roof. He couldn't live in this house for long. The best way was to save enough money and build a new house as soon as possible. There were a few broken jars in the house. Zhao Yun'er took them out and washed them with the water in the water tank. When they went up the mountain the next day, they would fill it with honey. Daodu was also helping by the side, his little hands helping to wash some small things from time to time. Although he was busy, Daodu seemed to be very happy. He completely treated it as if he was playing with Zhao Yun'er. After cleaning for an entire afternoon, the water in the water tank was about to reach the bottom of their feet. Zhao Yun'er said to Daodu, Daodu, why don't you stay at home by yourself for a while? Mother will go get some water. Mother, Daodu will go with you. It's dangerous by the river. Daodu can stand by the river later. Can he stand a little further away? Okay, Daodu will listen to mother. Okay. Just as Zhao Yun'er was about to leave, she saw a 16 or 17-year-old boy walking towards her house. The boy had delicate features and was almost 1.8 meters tall. However, he was too thin. In this era, children didn't eat well when they were growing. The person who came was none other than Zhao Yun'er's younger brother, Zhao Tianan. Chapter 18. Zhao Yun'er's family had a total of 6 people. In addition to Zhao Yun'er's parents, there was Zhao Ping'er and 2 younger brothers, Zhao Tianan and Zhao Tianfu. Zhao Tianan was 16 years old, and Zhao Tianfu was only 8 years old this year. These 2 younger brothers were closer to her, especially Zhao Tianan. When he had nothing to do, he would come over and help her. Seeing Zhao Yun'er carrying a bucket of water, Zhao Tianan hurriedly took it. He said, Second sister, I'll go fetch the water. You rest. Usually Zhao Tianan came to fetch water many times and Zhao Yuner did not refuse. Now that she had transmigrated, the body of the original owner was weak and did not have much strength. Naturally she could not compare with Zhao Tianan, a 1.8-meter tall young man. After Zhao Tianan carried the water a few times, he filled the water tank to the brim. However, there was a layer of sweat on his forehead. Zhao Yuner handed over a handkerchief. Come Tianan, wipe the sweat on your head. Are you tired? Zhao Tianan took it and wiped it. A smile appeared on his young face, revealing his cute little canine teeth. Second sister, it's okay. I'm not tired. If you're not tired, why are you sweating so much? Sit down and rest. Second sister will pour you some water to drink. Zhao Yuner said, then turned to the table and poured a glass of water for Zhao Tianan. Zhao Tianan smiled shyly. Thank you, second sister. Why are you thanking me? Second sister should be thanking you. Second sister, we're a family. This is what I should do. Zhao Yuner's lips also showed a smile. Zhao Tianan's words warmed her heart. In fact, as Zhao Tianan said, a family should support and help each other. Instead of treating her like the original owner's grandmother. Zhao Tianan did not rest for a while. He got up and wanted to help Zhao Yuner. Second sister, I'll go chop some firewood for you. Zhao Tianan said. You just rested for a while. You don't have to chop today. Zhao Yuner felt sorry for Zhao Tianan. It's okay, second sister. I'm not tired. I'm a man. If I can't do such a small thing, I'll be laughed at. Zhao Tianan said seriously, but Zhao Yuner suddenly laughed. You're only 16 years old. In her eyes, he was really just a little brat. Second sister, I'm a man at 16 years old. Some of the people in our village who are around my age are already married, Zhao Tianan continued. This was ancient times. Unlike modern times, people got married very early. Most girls could get married at the age of 14. It was normal for boys to marry at 16 or 17 years old. However, Zhao Yuner was a person of the 21st century. In Zhao Yuner's mind, there were some things that she could not accept. Zhao Yuner joked, Tianan, other people are married. Do you want to get married? How about big sister help you find a good girl and let you marry a wife? Zhao Tianan's face suddenly turned red. Second sister, what nonsense are you talking about? I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going out to chop firewood. Zhao Tianan said and rushed out of the room. Zhao Yuner, who was left in the room, laughed to herself. Her brother's shy appearance was really cute. Mother, what does it mean to marry a wife? Daodu pulled Zhao Yuner's skirt and asked. Although he couldn't help but drool when he smelled the chicken soup, he still couldn't freeload at Zhao Yuner's place. After all, Zhao Yuner didn't have it easy with Daodu. It wasn't easy for her to have a good meal, so she couldn't share it with him. Daodu, you and Daodu eat a little more. I'll go back and eat. Zhao Tianan was about to leave when Zhao Yuner pulled him back. You've helped me do so much work. If you don't stay for dinner, I won't ask you to help me next time. Zhao Tianan hesitated when he heard Zhao Yuner's words. Chapter 20. Okay. You go to the room and rest first. Second sister will be done soon. Zhao Tianan responded, but he still seemed a little embarrassed. The chicken pieces in the pot were almost stewed until they were a little soft. Zhao Yuner added 10 pigeon eggs to it, and then began to roll out the noodles. Just drinking the chicken soup was definitely not enough to fill the stomach, and the chicken pieces were so small. She had to cook some noodles. When the noodles were rolled out and the chicken soup was ready, Zhao Yuner filled some chicken soup and chicken pieces to eat tomorrow. The remaining half a pot of chicken soup was used to cook the noodles. The taste of the chicken soup was also good. In the countryside of ancient times, it was really good stuff. Ordinary people could only eat it a few times a year. After cooking the noodles, Zhao Yuner took out 3 large bowls. She divided the noodles and chicken pieces in the pot. Zhao Tianan was big and at the age where he had a big appetite, so Zhao Yuner gave him a little more and added a few more chicken pieces. In addition, there were 2 chicken legs. One was given to Daodu, and the other was given to Zhao Tianan. Okay, you can eat now. Let's go, Daodu, go to the table first. Mother will bring it to you. It's a little hot. Daodu nodded sensibly and ran to the table like a wisp of smoke. Zhao Yuner also brought in the 3 bowls. Looking at the large bowl of chicken soup, noodles and chicken pieces, Zhao Tianan's eyes flashed with a trace of emotion. Second sister was so nice. She always thought of leaving some delicious food for him. Seeing Zhao Yuner push the largest bowl of noodles in front of him, with chicken legs inside, Zhao Tianan immediately asked to exchange with Zhao Yuner. Sister, I can eat the small bowl. You eat more. There's also a chicken leg. You can eat it or give it to Daodu. I don't need it. Zhao Yuner shook her head helplessly when she saw how polite her younger brother was. She knew that Zhao Tianan just wanted to leave the best for her and Daodu. You've done a lot of work today, so you should eat more. Second sister had a small appetite and Daodu was so small so she couldn't eat much. Tianan were family. You don't have to be polite with second sister. More. After Zhao Yuner said this, Zhao Tianan found it hard to refuse. With a shy smile on her face, she nodded and began to eat. Zhao Tianan hadn't eaten meat for a long time. The delicious taste of the chicken soup and the refreshing texture of the noodles made Zhao Tianan gulp them down quickly. Seeing Zhao Tianan wolfing down the food, the smile on Zhao Yuner's lips deepened, and at the same time, there was a trace of sadness. Tianan, eat slowly. Don't choke. Zhao Yuner reminded Zhao Tianan. Zhao Tianan paused and looked at Zhao Yuner with some embarrassment. Yes, I know, second sister. Chapter 21. Zhao Yun also nodded in agreement. As long as Zhao Tianan was happy, he could do whatever he wanted. Anyway, even if he didn't agree to Zhao Tianan's request, he would still come over often to help. They were satisfied with the chicken noodle soup. After eating, Zhao Tianan was ready to go back. Zhao Yuner called out to Zhao Tianan. Sister, what's the matter? Is there anything else? Zhao Tianan asked. Zhao Yun brought out the prepared chicken soup. In addition to some chicken soup, there were some chicken pieces in the bowl. In addition, the 10 pigeon eggs that Zhao Yun put in were also put in the bowl. Zhao Yun handed it to Zhao Tianan and said, Tianan, take this back and let Dad and Mom eat it. Zhao Tianan hesitated whether to take it or not. Second sister, you can eat it yourself. You don't have to give it to us, right? It's okay. Second sister has delicious food here. Take it back and let Dad and Mom eat it first. But, no buts. Zhao Yun stuffed it into Zhao Tianan's hand. Go back quickly. It's almost dark. Zhao Tianan sighed and nodded. Then sister, I'll go back first. Okay. Zhao Tianan trotted home, but before he went back he first checked the situation at home. Such a good thing, naturally he couldn't take it back in front of his family. Otherwise, his grandmother, aunt, and the other women would directly snatch the chicken soup away. They probably wouldn't even leave a chicken bone for his parents. After Zhao Tianan entered the courtyard, he heard the noise inside. It was his parents, grandmother, and aunt who were quarreling non-stop. Zhao Tianan listened attentively and heard the contents of the quarrel. Xuanhuan shouted at the top of her voice, You two useless guys. You can't even do something well. Mother, isn't Yun against giving Daodu away? Besides, Daodu is also Yuner's biological son. Liang Jinxiao replied in a low voice, but Xuanhuan immediately scolded him again. Third daughter-in-law, you're still being stubborn? Don't tell me you still want to keep that little bastard as a disgrace to our old Zhao family for the rest of his life? Mother, that's not it. Isn't Yuner against it? There's no reason for me to snatch it, right? Xuanhuan glared at Liang Jinxiao, exasperated at his failure to live up to her expectations. You're always talking back. What kind of life are you living? With a mother like you, it's normal for you to give birth to a little b*tch. Liang Jinxiao's face turned green and red. Even though she felt uncomfortable, Xuanhuan was her mother-in-law, so she couldn't refute her. Zhao Wenhua couldn't help but advise, Mother, don't scold Jinxiao. You know Yuner, this child has a bit of a temper. If you send Daodu away from her, she'll definitely make a fuss. Let's take it slow and persuade her slowly. Xuanhuan glared at Zhao Wenhua again. Persuade her. Do you think you have so much time to persuade her? By the time you're done persuading her, someone will have already sent the child over. 200 taels of silver. Xuanhuan couldn't wait to get her hands on the 200 taels of silver. All right. You've just finished eating and you're already quarreling. If you continue to quarrel, get out. Zhao Baoshan, who had been silent all this while, reprimanded them. The whole family was so noisy that he was getting a headache. Chapter 22. Zhao Baoshan took out his tobacco pipe and started smoking. White smoke rose in the room. Zhao Baoshan waved at Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao and said, Go back to your room and rest. Okay, father. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao responded and went out. Seeing that Zhao Baoshan was silent again, Xuanhuan couldn't help but say, Old man, this is 200 taels of silver. If we get 200 taels of silver, our old Zhao family will be able to buy a lot of land. Our lives will definitely be better in the future. What's wrong with letting me say a few words? Li Chuiying, who was still standing in the room, hurriedly said, Yes. Father, 200 taels of silver is not a small amount. If it's our old Zhao family's grandson, it's fine. But Daodu is a little bastard. We'll be laughed at if we keep him. It's better for us to give him away. Zhao Baoshan paused and glanced at xuanhuan and Li Chuang. Don't think about money all day. Some things should be decided by Yun or herself. Xuanhuan and Li Chuang shut their mouths. They knew Zhao Baoshan's temperament and it was useless to say anything more to him. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao returned to their own rooms. Old Zhao had a lot of family members and they hadn't split up yet. There were 4 of them in total. Including his unmarried aunt, they could only squeeze into one room. Zhao Tianan leaned against the wall and sneaked into his own room. Seeing that Zhao Tianan had returned, Liang Jinxiao hurriedly asked, Tianan, why are you back so late? Where did you go? Have you eaten? Mother, I've eaten. I ate at second sister's house. Second sister made chicken noodle soup. It's delicious. Alright, second sister also asked me to bring some chicken soup back. Upon hearing the chicken soup, Zhao Ping'er, who was lying in the room, immediately got up. Chicken soup? Where's the chicken soup? Seeing the chicken soup in Zhao Tianan's hands, she hurriedly took it. Give it to me, give it to me. Eldest sister, this is for father and mother, Zhao Tianan mumbled, afraid that Zhao Ping'er would finish it alone. Liang Jinxiao frowned and said, Tianan, it's not easy for your second sister's house to have something good. Why are you still eating and taking? Give it back to your second sister later. Mother, it was second sister who forced it on me. It's a gift, this is a gift, a gift, a gift. We haven't had chicken soups to drink in a long. That's right, father, mother, we haven't had any minced meat in such a long time. She asked Tianan to give it to us, so let's give it to her. Besides, you've always sent her food. Otherwise, that little bastard of hers would have starved to death. Now that she has something good, she naturally wants to send some to us. Otherwise, her conscience would have been eaten by a dog. Zhao Ping'er held the bowl of chicken soup and said matter-of-factly. Then she called Zhao Tianhua and Liang Jinxiao and said, Mother, let's eat. It's still hot. It won't taste good when it gets cold. Liang Jinxiao sighed. Seeing that Zhao Ping'er and Zhao Tianfu were staring at the bowl with greedy expressions, he said, Okay, then you two eat. At night, the sky was dotted with stars. The countryside was exceptionally quiet at night. There wasn't much honey in one beehive. Fortunately, there were many beehives on the mountain. Zhao Yun followed the same method and took out 2 large jars of honey. In ancient times, honey was also a good thing. Generally, only rich families could afford it. 2 jars of honey should be worth a lot of money. Unknowingly, the whole morning had passed. Zhao Yun'er was full of harvests and prepared to go down the mountain with Daodu. Chapter 24. This is honey. It's very sweet and delicious. Zhao Yun'er explained. As she spoke, she took out some honey from the jar and placed it in front of Daodu's mouth. Here, Daodu, have a taste. See how it tastes. Daodu licked it and a bright smile immediately appeared on his little face. Mother, it's very sweet. Daodu likes it. If you like it, Mother will leave some for you. Drink it with water when we go back. It's also very sweet and delicious. And as the mother and daughter walked down the mountain, they passed by a hillside. There weren't many trees here, only tea trees. Zhao Yun'er's footsteps stopped and looked at a large tea tree. It was spring now and fresh tea leaves had already appeared. However, there weren't many people who came to the mountain, so the tea leaves weren't picked by anyone. In the original owner's memory, the people of this world never drank tea. She didn't know if it was because no one knew how to drink tea or if the people here didn't drink tea at all. Zhao Yun'er looked at the tea trees and suddenly thought of something. She found a business opportunity. If the people of this world didn't have tea leaves and didn't know how to make tea leaves, then she should be able to earn a sum of money by selling these tea leaves. However, if she wanted to make a fortune by selling tea leaves, she first had to let the people of this world know the benefits of tea leaves. They would only spend money to buy it if they thought it was good. Daodu helped Mother look after the honey. Zhao Yun'er put the honey on the ground and took the basket on her back, preparing to pick the tea leaves. And then, Mother, what are you doing? Mother is going to pick the leaves. Mother, what are you picking the leaves for? Daodu's soft and cute voice asked curiously. It's very useful. In the future, Mother can use these leaves to exchange for delicious food for Daodu to eat. Oh, then Mother will go pick them. Daodu, look after the honey. Okay. Zhao Yun'er carried the basket and went into the tea tree. She picked the newly grown leaves and picked them. After a while, she picked half of the basket of tea leaves. Zhao Yun'er felt that it was about time. She walked to Daodu's side and said to Daodu, Daodu, let's go. Mother is done. Gugu, Daodu's stomach rumbled. Zhao Yun'er knew that Daodu must be hungry, so she hurriedly brought Daodu down the mountain. Daodu, are you hungry? Let's go, Dowdo. Mother will cook for you when we get back. There was still some leftover chicken soup from yesterday. When Xiaoyuner went back, she added some water and rolled out some noodles. The two of them had quite a sumptuous lunch. In the afternoon, the sun was just right. Xiaoyuner took out a large dustpan and put the tea leaves she picked today under the sun to dry. Just as she was free, she saw Aunt Lu from next door come over with a basket in her hand. Aunt Lu and Xiaoyuner's houses were not far from each other. Aunt Lu would drop by when she had nothing to do and bring some things over from time to time. Yuner girl. Aunt Lu's warm and affectionate voice could be heard from afar. Xiaoyuner smiled at Aunt Lu and asked, Aunt Lu, is there anything I can help you with? Aunt Lu smiled and said, I made some shepherd's purse dumplings and brought you a bowl. You and Dowda can have a taste. As she spoke, Auntie Lu lifted the cloth covering the basket. The dumplings inside were steaming hot. Besides, you can't always be single. With Dowdu, this woman has no one to rely on and she has a child. Life will be very difficult. Zhao Yuner knew that Auntie Lu was trying to persuade her with good intentions, but she was a woman from the 21st century. She was different from the Zhao Yuner of the past. If she didn't like the man, she would never force herself to get married. Chapter 26. When Dowdu finished speaking, Zhao Yuner's mouth twitched slightly. She felt a bit awkward. Dowdu really engraved her words in her heart. Aunt Lu couldn't help but laugh at Dowdu's words. Girl, Dowdu's words are really cute. Zhao Yuner forced a smile. She was too embarrassed to tell Aunt Lu that she was the one who said those words. Aunt Lu, I think it's pretty good to raise Dowdu alone right now. I don't plan on finding someone to marry at the moment. After all, Dowdu isn't someone else's biological child. Who knows if someone will treat Dowdu badly. I don't want Dowdu to suffer even the slightest bit. Aunt Lu nodded. That's true. Ai Yuner girl, it's been hard on you. It's okay. I think it's pretty good right now. If you want to get married, just tell Auntie. Auntie will definitely try her best to find you a good match. I'm okay. Alright, Aunt Lu, I want to go to the city tomorrow. How do I get there? Zhao Yuner wanted to sell the 2 jars of honey, but she could only go to the city to sell them. She knew a bit from the original owner's memories. Yang City was about 10 to 20 kilometers away from the village. Yang City wasn't far from the capital. It was very prosperous and many officials in the capital had residences in Yang City. Naturally, there were many rich people in the city. Girl, you want to go to the city? I got some good stuff. I want to sell it and exchange it for some food. At least Dowdu and I won't starve. Zhao Yuner explained. Then you can take old man whose ox cart tomorrow morning. The two chatted for a while before Aunt Lu left. They ate too much at noon, so she and Dowdu couldn't eat the shepherd's purse dumplings that Aunt Lu sent over. After Dowdu drank the honey water, he tugged on Zhao Yuner's clothes and said it was delicious. Children all liked to eat sweets, and Dowdu was no exception. Zhao Yuner made a bowl of the 2 jars of honey that she was going to sell. She could make more honey water for Dowdu later. Honey was good for the stomach and beauty. She could also drink some. Zhao Yuner's life was too hard in the past. Sometimes her stomach would hurt, and her complexion didn't look too good. There was nothing else for the whole afternoon. Zhao Yuner stayed in the house with Dowdu in addition to turning over the tea leaves. When it was 4 o'clock came over, Zhao Tianfu and Zhao Tianfu came over. Dowdu was Dowdu. Was Dowdu. Was Dowdu. Dowdu was born after Zhao Yuner got pregnant out of wedlock. He was called a little bastard by many people. Therefore the other children in the village brought Dowdu to play with them. Zhao Tianfu usually came over and took Dowdu to play with some interesting things. Dowdu liked this uncle very much. Big uncle, little uncle, Dowdu called out sweetly. Dowdu, Zhao Tianfu came over and held Dowdu's little hand. Looking at her 2 younger brothers' love for Dowdu, the corner of Zhao Yuner's mouth also revealed a smile. Zhao Tianfu took Dowdu out to play in the village. Zhao Tianan stayed. He wanted to help Zhao Yuner, so he filled 2 buckets with water and chopped some firewood. Second sister. Zhao Tianan looked at Zhao Yuner. He wanted to say something but stopped. Chapter 27. Second sister, I heard our grandmother quarreling with father and mother last night. Second sister, is grandmother really going to give Dowdu away? Zhao Tianan asked with a frown. Obviously he didn't want Dowdu to be sent away either. Zhao Yuner was more concerned about xuanhuan scolding her parents. That damned old woman had indeed gone back to torment Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao. She didn't dare to visit them and now she was venting her anger on them. Zhao Yuner knew that her parents were in a difficult position, but she definitely wouldn't send Daodu away. Tianan, if grandmother bullies father and mother in the future, tell second sister. Second sister, are you going to help father and mother? Zhao Yuner puffed out her chest. Of course. I can't let father and mother be bullied. Besides, father and mother were scolded by grandmother because of Daodu. Yes, second sister, then I'll protect father and mother in the future. I'm already so old and I have the ability. I'll also protect second sister and Daodu. I won't let grandmother send Daodu away. Zhao Yuner's heart warmed. She smiled at Zhao Tianan and said, Tianan, you're so good. Second sister has a good younger brother. Zhao Tianan touched his head shyly. Second sister, this is what I should do. We're family. Haha, you're right. Go and rest. Second sister will cook. Yes, yes. Zhao Yuner killed all the pigeons, plucked their feathers and cut open their bellies. Her movements were very nimble, and then she put them into the pot to stew. A pot of pigeon soup was stewed and it smelled similar to chicken soup. Zhao Yuner rolled out some noodles, enough for a few people, and put them into the pot to cook. After a while, a fragrant dinner was ready. Zhao Qianfu had already returned with Daodu. Zhao Qianfu was still young, so compared to Zhao Tianan he seemed a little greedy. He ate the noodles and pigeon meat, almost wolfing them down. As she ate, she smiled at Zhao Yuner. Second sister, it's really delicious. Zhao Yuner felt a little sour in her heart. The children of ancient times were really pitiful. Zhao Yuner said softly, if it's delicious then eat more. Second sister made a lot. Zhao Qianfu smiled and nodded. Zhao Tianan poked Zhao Qianfu with his elbow and whispered into Zhao Qianan's ear, Qianfu, don't eat too much. Leave some for second sister and Daodu. Oh. Zhao Qianfu reacted. After finishing a bowl, he sat on the stool and wiped his mouth. He was too embarrassed to continue eating. Zhao Yuner said, Qianfu, second sister will go and get more for you. Zhao Qianfu hurriedly waved his hand and smiled shyly. No need, second sister. I'm full. Qianfu, don't be shy. Eat more if you like. It's not like second sister doesn't have it here. There's still a lot left in the pot. Zhao Qianfu licked his lower lip, looking as if he hadn't had enough, but he suppressed himself and was too embarrassed to speak. He looked at Zhao Tianan and asked for Zhao Qianan's opinion. Zhao Yuner picked up Zhao Qianfu's bowl and scooped a bowl for him. Only when you're full will you have strength. I'll need your help tomorrow. When they heard that she wanted their help, the two children seemed a little excited. They probably felt that after eating Zhao Yuner's food, their hearts were wrapped up, so they wanted to help her do more work. Second sister, what do you want us to do for you tomorrow? Zhao Tianan asked. Chapter 28. Zhao Yuner couldn't bring Daodu with her when she went to town tomorrow. However, she was worried about leaving Daodu alone at home. She needed someone to look after Daodu. Sister, of course, Zhao Tianan and Zhao Qianfu said with a smile. Okay, I'll leave Daodu to you. Don't worry, sister. We'll look after Daodu. We won't let Daodu get bullied. Okay. Zhao Tianan and Zhao Qianfu went back after they were full. This time, Zhao Yuner didn't have much pigeon soup left in the pot, so she didn't send any to her parents. When Zhao Tianan and Zhao Qianfu arrived home, old Zhao's family was just about to have lunch. When he called the two of them over to eat, the two of them ran back to their room. Xuanhuan asked with some doubts, these two boys are really strange, especially Tianan. He hasn't eaten dinner for the past 2 days. Isn't he hungry? In the past, when it's late, he's faster than anyone to grab food. After Xuanhuan finished speaking, Zhao Ping'er, who was sitting and eating dinner, snorted coldly. Let's go to that little B** Zhao Yuner's place to eat. The dishes on the table were only a few plates of cabbage and shepherd's purse picked from the ridge in the fields. There was nothing else. There wasn't a trace of oil in the dishes. Just looking at them made one lose their appetite. How could they compare to the taste of the chicken soup she drank last night? What can we eat at her place? Xuanhuan snorted coldly, seemingly very disdainful. Let alone good food. If that little B** could fill her stomach, she would admire it. Zhao Ping'er put down her bowl and chopsticks and said to Xuanhuan, Grandma, you don't know, right? Zhao Yuner made chicken soup last night. Tianan had gone to drink chicken soup and eat chicken. Today he brought Qianfu over. Who knows what good things he's going to eat? At the mention of the chicken soup, Li Chuanying's eyes suddenly lit up. He licked the corner of his mouth as if he was craving for it. Where did that girl get this good stuff? Xuanhuan was a little puzzled. She didn't know why, but when she heard that Zhao Yuner was eating good food, she felt very uncomfortable. Zhao Ping'er shrugged her shoulders and said, Who knows? If he didn't steal it, then he must have gotten it through some other means. After Zhao Pinger finished speaking, Liang Jinxiao glared at her and reprimanded, "Pinger, how could you say that? If you don't want to say it, then don't say it." Zhao Pinger pouted and poked at the food in her bowl. Tasted so bad. If it weren't for the fact that she was afraid of starving, she really wouldn't be able to eat it. Haha, that girl has grown up. She's learned how to steal things. How can this be? She's going to embarrass our old Zhao family in the future. Xuanhuan said angrily, as if she had found another reason to look for Zhao Yun'er. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly explained, "Mother, don't misunderstand. Don't listen to Pinger's nonsense. Yun'er didn't do anything sneaky. Yesterday when I went to Yun'er's place, I saw that she went to the mountains to catch pigeons. She even took some pigeon eggs and stewed them with pigeon soup. It's not chicken soup, it's just pigeon soup." Xuanhuan snorted coldly, "That girl has indeed grown up. She even went to the mountains to steal birds' nests. It'll be good if she's eaten by wild beasts." "That's enough. Don't you find it annoying to keep chattering? Do you still want to eat?" Zhao Baoshan asked impatiently. Chapter 29. Xuanhuan was afraid that Zhao Baoshan would be unhappy, so she immediately sat down and started eating. Zhao Baoshan didn't say anything. In ancient times, men were everything. Even a woman like Xuanhuan was extremely obedient to her man. Li Chuiying swallowed her saliva and smiled at Xuanhuan. "Mother, when are we going to get some meat to eat? We haven't seen any minced meat since the new year, and there isn't even a bit of oil in the dishes. The boys in the family are growing so they can't keep eating these. We should buy some good food to nourish them from time to time." Li Chuiying made it sound nice. She kept talking about her children, but the truth was that she wanted to eat. She was too embarrassed to say it out loud at her age, so she could only use her children as an excuse. Now that old Zhao's family hadn't split up, the money that the family earned was all given to Xuanhuan. Moreover, they couldn't keep it for themselves. Otherwise, if Xuanhuan found out about it, she would scold them for a few days and nights. Usually, when they weren't busy with farm work, the men in the family would find some work to do. If they went to town or the city to help, they could earn more than 10 copper coins a day. All of this money had to be given to Xuanhuan. However, when Xuanhuan was in a good mood, she would leave some for the family to spend as pocket money. Zhao Wenhua worked diligently and earned more money in the hopes that Xuanhuan would be happy and leave him a few copper coins. In other words, he could use this money to buy some food to help Zhao Yun'er. However, he didn't have a single copper coin in his private savings. Xuanhuan glared at Li Chuiying. "Eat, eat, eat, all you know is to eat. Don't think that I don't know what you're thinking. You're the one who wants to eat and you're dragging the child into it." Not only was Li Chuiying not angry, he even smiled apologetically and said, "Mother, you misunderstood. I really didn't do it for myself. I'm just telling the truth. Our old Zhao family isn't that poor. It's not a big deal to buy some meat for the family to enjoy, right?" Xuanhuan still glared at Li Chuiying unhappily. "A caddy of meat costs 15 copper coins. If you have the ability to earn it back, I'll buy meat for you." Li Chuiying curled his lips. He didn't say anything, but in his heart he was cursing Li Chuiying. This stingy old woman. If she could earn 15 copper coins, she would buy it herself secretly. Why would she need to buy meat for the family to enjoy? Zhao Pinger poked the cabbage and said to Xuanhuan, "Grandmother, I think second aunt is right. We haven't eaten meat for months and there's no oil in the vegetables. Zhao Yun'er can eat meat. We can't live worse than her, right?" Xuanhuan was annoyed at the mention of Zhao Yun'er. He felt that Zhao Pinger's words were also reasonable. Their family's life couldn't be worse than Zhao Yun'er's, so he said, "That's fine. Tomorrow I'll go and weigh a gene of pork back for you to eat." As soon as Xuanhuan finished speaking, the people at the table were unusually excited. They were looking forward to eating pork tomorrow. The next morning, Zhao Yun'er got up when the sky was still dark. Her eyes were still a little sleepy. She didn't sleep well. Yesterday she entrusted Daodu to her 2 younger brothers. Zhao Tianan and Zhao Tianfu came over early and also got up before dawn. Chapter 30. Before she left, she reminded Daodu to listen to his 2 uncles. Then she carried the basket on her back and set off. "Tianan, Tianfu, sorry to trouble you. Second sister will bring you delicious food when I come back," Zhao Yun'er said before she left. "It's okay, second sister. You can go now," Zhao Tianan said. Although Zhao Yun'er said that she would bring them delicious food, the 2 younger brothers did not expect Zhao Yun'er to really bring them food. After all, the dinner they had at Zhao Yun'er's place was already delicious. Zhao Yun followed Aunt Lu's instructions and went to Old Man Hu's house to take the ox cart. It cost 3 copper coins per person to go there and 6 copper coins for a round trip. Zhao Yun did not have a single copper coin on hand now. She had to borrow money from Aunt Lu to take the ox cart. When she arrived at Old Man Hu's house, there were already a few people sitting in Old Man Hu's cart. They were all preparing to go to the city market. In addition to farming at home, the villagers would also go to the city to sell things in their free time. Some of them sold vegetables, some of them sold silk flowers, and some of them sold other things that they had woven themselves. Although they could not sell for much money, they could more or less supplement the family's income. The game that Lu Lei hunted on a daily basis, except for the people in the village who would buy some, most of it would be sold in the city. The restaurants in the city liked to buy game and would usually offer a good price. When they saw Zhao Yun go over, the madams in the carriage began to chatter. The matter of Zhao Yun giving birth out of wedlock caused the people in the village to more or less gossip about her. Usually no one was willing to pay attention to her. They all thought that she was an unclean and dissolute woman. "Oh, isn't this Liang Jinxiao's second daughter?" one of the madams said at the top of her voice, not avoiding the topic at all. "That's right. I've never seen her go to the city. Why did she go out today?" "Who knows? She probably went out to sell things. She still has the nerve to come out for a walk. What's there to be embarrassed about? She can even do the ugly thing of having a child out of wedlock. What else can't she do?" "That's true. TSK. Just by looking at their lofty ideals, the shady business they did was disgusting. Sigh, if it was my daughter, I would have broken half of her leg." These women just had nothing to do and were bored to death. When they finally had something to talk about, they liked to grab onto it and not let it go. Make fun of yourself by making fun of others. Even in front of Zhao Yun, he did not know how to restrain himself. Zhao Yun was too lazy to argue with these women. These rural women had no manners at all. If he argued with them, he would feel that it was a waste of his saliva. Chapter 31. When she leaned over, she realized that there was nothing much in Zhao Yun's basket. There were only 2 ceramic jars. The jars were covered so she couldn't tell what was inside. A woman in her 30s forced a smile and said to Zhao Yun, "Lass, what's in your basket?" Zhao Yun replied indifferently, "Nothing." How could the woman believe Zhao Yun's excuse? She grinned and leaned over. "Lass, just tell Auntie. We're from the same village. When we go to the city to sell something good, we'll tell each other. Of course it's not as good as Auntie's. If I tell you, I'm afraid you'll laugh at me, so it's better not to say," Zhao Yun said. When the woman saw that Zhao Yun didn't want to say anything, she felt bored and couldn't help but scold her. "If you don't want to say it, then don't say it. Anyway, it's definitely not something good. There are some people in the city who haven't been there before. If they sell something they think is precious, probably no one will want it. When you go to the city, you won't be able to sell the thing and even have to pay for the carriage." These words were naturally for Zhao Yun to hear. Zhao Yun's lips curled up slightly. Instead, she smiled and said politely, "Thank you for your concern, Auntie, but this is my business." The woman was so angry at Zhao Yun that she snorted softly. She turned around and scolded Zhao Yun in front of the other women. Zhao Yun pretended not to hear. Her mouth was on other people's bodies. Why should she care about what other people said? Zhao Yun sat on the ox cart and waited for a while. Later, a few people came one after another. Seeing that it was about time, Old Man Hu shouted and prepared to set off. The ox cart's speed wasn't as fast as the horse carriage. It swayed as it drove towards Yang City. It was a journey of more than 10 miles. It would be too tiring to walk there. Basically, when they went there, they would bring things with them. Old Man Hu's long whip whipped the cows' buttocks as they hurried on their way. He even hummed a tune from the countryside, looking carefree and relaxed. The morning air was very fresh, mixed with the fragrance of the earth. Along the bumpy road, Zhao Yun felt that it was a different kind of fun. About an hour later, they arrived at Sun City. At this time, the morning sun had already risen. Sun City was bustling with activity. After entering, they saw stalls of various sizes selling all kinds of things. It was early in the morning, and the aroma of breakfast spread throughout the streets. Zhao Yun hadn't eaten breakfast yet, but she was already a little hungry from the aroma. Father Hu found an open space and stopped. Then he called out to the people in the car, "You guys go ahead. I'll wait here." After he finished speaking, he took out his tobacco pipe and tobacco pouch, sat on the ox cart, and began to leisurely smoke. The women who brought things over to sell alighted one after another. There was a fixed place to set up stalls in the city to sell things. When they went there they had to pay a booth fee of 3 copper coins. Zhao Yuner knew that her honey was good stuff. If she brought it to the market, ordinary people might not be able to afford it. She had to find a shop that specialized in selling honey and then resell her honey. Chapter 32. Zhao Yuner shook her head and said, "Thank you for your concern, Auntie. I can't sell the things I brought to the market. I have to try my luck elsewhere." "Alright then. Yang City is very big. Don't get lost. Remember to come back here." The woman reminded her. Zhao Yuner nodded. "Thank you, Auntie." With that, she carried the basket on her back and walked on the streets of Yang City. She began to look for a shop that could sell honey. There were many shops on this street and they sold a lot of things. She had money. Zhao Yuner wanted to make a good purchase. However, she only had a few copper coins in her hand now, and they were borrowed from her. After searching for about half an hour, Zhao Yuner finally found a shop, so she walked into the shop. The shop owner saw that Zhao Yuner was dressed plainly, and there were even a few puddings on her clothes. However, it was clean and tidy. Thus he asked, "Miss, are you here to buy something?" Zhao Yuner shook her head. "No, I'm here to sell something." The shop owner was amused by Zhao Yuner. "I don't lack anything here. I wonder what you want to sell to me?" The shop owner was still polite and did not chase Zhao Yuner out of the shop. If it were other shops, they would probably be too lazy to listen to Zhao Yuner's nagging. "I saw that you sell honey here. I have some honey, so I want to sell it to you," Zhao Yuner said. As she spoke, she took out the honey from the basket on her back and handed it to the shop owner. When he opened the jar, the sweet smell of honey wafted out. The shop owner leaned forward and took a look. Actually, they had a special supply channel for their honey. They did not sell it separately. However, when he saw that Zhao Yuner seemed to want to sell his honey, she was dressed plainly. Perhaps her family was in urgent need of money. He took a look at the honey. The quality was not bad. It was even more fragrant than the honey in the shop. "Take a look. What do you think of my honey?" The shopkeeper smiled at Zhao Yuner and said, "That's right. It's just that this honey is basically bought by rich people. If I have too much stock, the honey might go bad. If I accept your honey, I will also be taking some risks. I can give you a slightly lower price." Zhao Yuner could understand. There weren't many preservatives in ancient times, and things couldn't be left aside forever. "Then tell me the price. I can accept it. I'll definitely sell it." She was currently in need of money. No matter how much she could earn, it was better than not having any money at all. "Miss, I'll give you 800 copper coins for these 2 jars of honey. What do you think?" This price was actually higher than Zhao Yuner's expectations. The shop owner would buy it from her and then sell it. In the middle, he would more or less receive some profit. Looking at the shop owner, she realized that he was a shrewd businessman. The price he gave her should be reasonable. After thinking for a while, he replied, "All right, 800 copper coins it is." Okay. The shop owner settled the bill for Zhao Yuner and told her that if she had more, she could send it directly to the shop. It was considered a long-term business. With 800 copper coins in her hand, Zhao Yuner was a little excited. This was the first pot of gold she had earned since she came to this world. It would only get better and better in the future. 800 copper coins was not a small amount in the countryside. Pork was only 15 copper coins per caddy. Converted to the money of this era, it was equivalent to 800 yuan in the 21st century. Chapter 33. She had to buy more oil, salt, soy sauce, vinegar, and food. She had to be frugal with these 800 copper coins. Zhao Yuner went to the market, looked at a few rice shops, and picked one with a relatively good price. In ancient times, there were different types of rice, brown rice and polished rice, and the prices were different. Brown rice was cheaper. A caddy of corn cost 5 copper coins, while polished rice cost 8 copper coins. According to the modern market price, food was slightly more expensive. The production of food in ancient times was not as good as in modern times. There were no hybrid rice, and there were no pesticides. The production of food was also much lower. Zhao Yuner bought 10 caddies of brown rice and polished rice, and also bought 5 caddies of flour. One caddy cost 7 copper coins and she spent a total of 165 copper coins. The oil tank at home was almost empty, and she bought 5 caddies of rapeseed oil, salt, soy sauce, vinegar, and some white sugar, and she spent a total of 200 copper coins. She spent more than half of the money on a casual purchase. Although Zhao Yuner was a little distressed, she had to buy these things and they were indispensable. She hoped that she and Daodu could live a more refined life. If the money was gone, she could earn more. Zhao Yuner's basket was gradually filled to the brim. Just as she was about to carry the basket and leave the grocery store, she saw an old man shouting, catch the thief, my money bag was stolen." In front of the old man, a young man in his early 20s was holding a money bag, and he was running forward in a panic. The old man looked anxious. The money in the money bag must be very important to him. Xiaoyuner had been a police officer for so many years, and when she saw a thief, she habitually went to catch him. She put the basket in the grocery store and said to the shop owner, "Please help me take care of it, I'll come back to get it later." After saying that, he dashed out. Although Xiaoyuner's body was a little weak, she was still agile, and her light body shuttled through the crowd, and she was still quite fast. Soon she caught the thief. Xiaoyuner grabbed the thief's shoulder and angrily said to the thief, "You dare to steal money in broad daylight, you're really capable. Hurry up and hand over the money bag or else I won't be polite to you." When the thief saw that it was a young lady's house, he wasn't afraid at all. He was a man. Could it be that he couldn't beat a woman? "You stinky woman, why do you care so much? If you don't let me go, I won't be polite to you," the thief warned. As he spoke, he began to resist and wanted to break free from Xiaoyuner. Xiaoyuner had many years of experience in catching thieves, so she was able to easily deal with thieves who wanted to escape from her hands. Seeing that the thief was about to resist, Xiaoyuner twisted the thief's arm, and the sound of a pig howling could be heard. "Ouch, ouch, ouch. You stinking woman, let go of me," the thief shouted. Xiaoyuner's lips curled into a faint smile. "If I want to let you go, it's very simple. Hurry up and hand over the money bag." I'll hand it over, okay?" the thief said. "Give it to me." Xiaoyuner stretched out a hand in front of the thief, indicating that the thief should hand over the money bag to her. The thief pretended to hand it over, but he tried to break free. Chapter 34. "My leg is also broken, you woman, you are really ruthless," Xiaoyuner sneered. "Trying to play tricks with me, you are still too inexperienced." Xiaoyuner saying this at her age seemed a little strange. If he fell in the hands of others it would be fine, but to fall in the hands of a little girl, the thief suddenly felt that he had lost face. But the strange thing was that he, a young lad, could not even resist a little girl. The fight between the two people attracted a lot of people to watch. Seeing a little girl being able to suppress a big man, it was very novel. This thief was called Huang San because of stealing things. He was also considered to be famous in the city. He often robbed some women and children's things. Being young and impetuous, he ran fast. Others could not catch him in a short time, so he could only suffer in silence. Most of the people on the street were doing business. They saw too much, so they did not have the time to care about this kind of thing. Who would have thought that today a little girl would appear and actually catch Huang San? This little grandson, he usually does a lot of bad things. It's good to catch him. He is so young, he can't do anything well, so he wants to steal things to be a thief. He should be properly taught a lesson doing shameful things. Hit him, hit him. More and more people gathered around. All of them were clapping and cheering for Xiaoyuner, and started to curse Huang San. "Miss, I will give it to you, this time I will really give it to you, okay? Let me go." Huang San started to admit defeat and begged for mercy. As he spoke, he obediently took out the money bag and handed it to Xiaoyuner. Xiaoyuner did not intend to let Huang San go just like that. In the 21st century, when she caught a thief, under normal circumstances she would bring them back to the police station. The old grandpa who had his money bag stolen caught up with them, panting. Seeing Xiaoyuner return the money bag to him, he quickly started to thank her. "Miss, thank you, you are so kind." "You are welcome, old grandpa, I have caught you, how do you want to deal with me? Release him or take him to the authorities?" Xiaoyuner respected the old man's decision. In ancient times, lawsuits were ignored. After all, she was not the one who had her money stolen. She had to see what the old man thought. "If I don't go to jail for a period of time, there will also be people like me who will have their money stolen in the future," the old grandpa said. He was full of a sense of justice and was thinking for the future. Xiaoyuner nodded. "All right." Then he asked the crowd, "Who has a hemp rope? Can I have one, please?" Yes, Miss, here you go." As he spoke, someone handed it over to Xiaoyuner. Xiaoyuner restrained Huang San's hands and feet. After tying him up, she handed one end of the rope to the old man. "Grandpa, I can't accompany you to the yamen." "I've tied him up for you," Xiaoyuner said. "Miss, if there's nothing else, you can go about your business. Thank you so much for what happened today." "It's nothing. Grandpa, I'm leaving." Just as Xiaoyuner was about to leave, a carriage galloped over. The driver shouted loudly, get out of the way, quickly get out of the way." The people who were surrounding Xiaoyuner moved away. Huang San was tied up by her and could not move for a moment. Zhao Yun'er tried to push Huang San away, but in the blink of an eye, the carriage was in front of her. Chapter 35. Because of the sudden braking, the carriage went to the side. The driver nervously asked the person inside the carriage, "Young master, are you all right?" A cold voice came from inside. "I'm fine." The driver let out a sigh of relief and then said to Zhao Yun'er in a displeased voice, "You woman, you actually blocked the young master's path. Do you not want your life anymore?" Originally, Zhao Yun'er felt a little guilty for almost causing a car accident, but listening to the coachman's angry scolding, she suddenly became annoyed. The carriage was rampaging on the road, he wasn't afraid of hurting people. It was fine if he didn't care about other people's safety, but now he was scolding people who didn't run away in time. Zhao Yun'er calmly replied to the driver, "This road doesn't belong to your family, everyone can walk on it. Does the young master think he can be so overbearing? Quickly apologize to me for what you just said." The driver felt this was strange as he looked over Zhao Yun'er. Standing in front of him was just a country woman wearing simple clothes. Truly an ignorant country woman. Apologize? Little girl, are you joking? With my family's young master's identity, you should make way for him when you see him? You didn't make way and almost hurt my family's young master. Not sending you to the officials is already being polite to you. Zhao Yun'er felt this was a bit funny as her brows jumped up. She asked the driver, "Then I want to know which law of our great Zhou country states that we have to make way for the young master's carriage, otherwise we will be convicted?" The great Zhou country that Zhao Yun'er had transmigrated to did not exist in the history of her original world. The great Zhou country was now peaceful and prosperous. The emperor also worked hard to govern the country and the country was governed by law. For every crime in the great Zhou country, there had to be a law before it could be convicted. It was very similar to the laws of the 21st century. The driver didn't know what to say when he was asked by Zhao Yun'er. Who would have thought that this country woman would not be afraid at all after hearing the young master's name? Rather, her mind was clear and her aura suppressed him. She didn't know if she should be considered ignorant. You, what? Did I say something wrong?" "Amu, apologize to that lady." A pleasant male voice came from inside the carriage. His voice was a little hoarse and deep, but it had a hint of masculine charm. Zhao Yun'er was immediately attracted by the voice. She walked towards the carriage, curious as to what kind of man was sitting in the carriage. "Your Highness." The coachman never thought that his master would actually ask him to apologize to this country bumpkin. It was clearly this woman's fault. "Apologize." The man's voice in the carriage became colder. The coachman felt helpless. He could not disobey the order, so he could only say to Zhao Yun'er, "Miss, I'm sorry. It's my fault." Zhao Yun'er was not an aggressive person. Since the other party had apologized, she would not say too much. Instead, he said to the man in the carriage, "Your coachman isn't much, but your master's attitude isn't bad. This lady is a great person who doesn't hold a grudge against a petty person and forgives you." The man in the carriage couldn't help but curl up the corners of his mouth. His smile had a trace of evil charm. Chapter 36. At the moment when the carriage curtain was lifted, Zhao Yun'er suddenly stared blankly. The man sitting inside was wearing a purple brocade robe and had a noble temperament. His jet-black hair was tied up high. His skin was bright and clear, and there was a hint of coldness in his eyes. His eyebrows were like swords and his body was like a jade tree. His pair of phoenix eyes were awe-inspiring, and at this moment he was looking at her playfully. Zhao Yun'er's first reaction was, how could there be such a good-looking man? He was much more handsome than those male stars on TV in the 21st century. More importantly, this man had a noble temperament that ordinary stars didn't have. This kind of noble temperament could only be cultivated by people who were born in a good environment. Zhao Yun'er was a little dazed for a moment. She was a normal woman and it was normal for her to like handsome men. Mu Lianfeng looked at the woman in front of him. She was less than 20 years old and her body was a little thin. Her face was pale and her clothes were plain. It was obvious that she came from a poor family. However, the woman in front of him was very delicate and pretty. Her black and bright eyes were even more lively. In addition, Zhao Yun'er's words just now. She was a little different from ordinary girls. Seeing Zhao Yun'er staring at him, Mu Lianfeng's lips curled up into a smile. "Miss, have you seen enough?" Zhao Yun'er just realized that she was actually infatuated with a handsome man, and was even teased by him. She couldn't help but feel a little embarrassed. "I've seen enough," Zhao Yun'er said softly. Miss, if you haven't seen enough, you can take a closer look. Zhao Yun glared at Mu Lianfeng. Boring. Originally, she had a good impression of this man, but because of Mu Lianfeng's words, it was all gone. Zhao Yun turned around and handed Huang San to the old man, then turned and left. Mu Lianfeng, who was sitting in the carriage, stroked his chin with interest. Your Highness, don't blame me for talking too much. Look at this country girl. She doesn't know anything and is very rude to you. Why are you so polite? The coachman couldn't help but ask. You talk too much. Mu Lianfeng only threw out these two words. Mu Lianfeng couldn't help but feel a little curious when he heard the discussions around him. He asked the coachman to inquire about what had just happened. Looking at Zhao Yun'er's weak body walking away, she became even more curious about her because of what Zhao Yun'er had done. She was clearly a woman, but she was able to do such a brave thing. Mu, let's go, Mu Lianfeng said. All right. The luxurious carriage swayed as it left. Zhao Yun returned to the grocery store and took back her basket. Even the store owner was full of admiration for Zhao Yun'er's actions just now. He said to Zhao Yun, Miss, you're really a good person. You're really amazing. Zhao Yun smiled and said, It's nothing. When I see thieves, I just don't like them stealing things. At the same time, it was also her professional habit. The store owner nodded. That's true. However, there aren't many people like you who are willing to stand up for others. Miss, you have to be careful. This Huang San also knows a lot of hooligans. I'm afraid that they will find trouble with you in the future. Chapter 37. All right, Mississippi. Take care. I'll give you a discount the next time you come here. All right. Zhao Yun carried the basket on her back and walked out of the grocery store. She then went to other places to see if there was anything else she wanted to buy. It was her first time coming to a place like this. She had only seen it on television before. Now that she was here, she felt that it was a novel experience. He glanced left and right. She had not eaten breakfast, walked for a long time, caught a thief, and now carried something on her back. She felt that she was exhausted. When she reached a snack stall, Zhao Yun prepared to buy something to fill her stomach. Boss, how much is this bun? Zhao Yun asked. The boss chuckled and said, Miss, this vegetable bun is 1 copper coin for 2, and 1 meat bun is 1 copper coin for 1. Zhao Yun nodded. After conversion, it was about the same as the prices in the 21st century. Thus, she called out to the boss of the bun shop, Boss, give me 2 vegetable buns and 6 meat buns. All right, the boss chuckled in response. Then he took a piece of butter paper and wrapped the buns together before handing it to Zhao Yun. Miss, these are the buns you wanted. Take them. When Zhao Yun took them, she handed over 7 copper coins. She only needed to eat 2 vegetable buns. The meat buns were for Daodu and her 2 younger brothers. The ancient era was not like the modern era. There were very few opportunities to eat meat. They might not even be able to eat it once in a few months. For those who were not well off, they could only eat it during the new year. Therefore, meat buns were definitely considered a luxury in the countryside. After eating 2 vegetable buns, Zhao Yun was finally not very hungry. Then she went to the market and bought some pork. Pork was 15 copper coins per catty. Zhao Yun bought 1 catty and some large bones. Ancient times were different from modern times. Modern people bought bones to make bone soup to nourish their bodies, but ancient people liked to buy pork. The fatter the pork, the better. This was because ancient people used too little oil when cooking. There was a lot of lard in the fatty meat, so they liked the greasy feeling more. In this way, there wasn't much oil or meat on the bones, so the price was only 3 copper coins per catty. As he was walking back, he passed by a shop. There were all kinds of snacks and pastries in the shop. They looked very exquisite and had a faint fragrance. Before coming out, Zhao Yun promised to bring some good food for the children to eat. It was not bad to buy these snacks back. After entering the shop and asking around, Zhao Yun found that the price of these snacks and pastries was much higher than other things in this era. Under normal circumstances, only the wealthy or well-off families in the city could afford it. A good box of pastries cost a few taels of silver, and even the worst ones cost a few hundred copper coins. After walking around, Zhao Yun bought some candies. Children loved to eat candies, so the price of these candies was within her acceptable range. 1 catty was 25 copper coins. Zhao Yun asked the shop owner to wrap 1 catty in butter paper and bring it back. After buying everything, she returned to Old Man Hu's place. There were not many people there yet. Old Man Hu smiled kindly at Zhao Yun. Girl, you sold these things so quickly? Yes. Your basket is full. You must have bought a lot of things. Chapter 38. Okay, girl, quickly sit down and rest. You must be tired from carrying it on your back. Wait a little longer. The others should be done soon. Let's go back together, Papa Hu said. Actually, it was not easy to sell things in the city. Many times, when there was no one in the market, they might not be able to sell all the things they brought over. However, at about 10 o'clock in the morning, they would all have to come back. Papa Hu would only wait until this hour at the latest. It would take time for the carriage to reach the village. It would take an hour for the carriage to wobble. It would be just in time for lunch on the way back. Okay, Xuanhuan nodded in response. As she spoke, she sat in the carriage and put the basket on the back. She wiped the beads of sweat on her forehead and chatted with Papa Hu from time to time. From Father Hu's mouth, Xuanhuan also understood some of the situation in the city. Yang City was rich and prosperous, especially prosperous in business. There were many famous businessmen in the city, all of whom were extremely wealthy. Some were even as wealthy as a country. The most influential family in Yang City was the Helian family. In addition to doing good business in Yang City, the Helian family had shops and businesses in the capital and other cities. Ordinary people could only look up to these rich families. After all, the distance between them and them was still too far. Xuanhuan listened with great interest. What she was most interested in now was making money. Only by making money could she lead a good life with Daodu and live a smooth life in ancient times. After waiting for about an hour, the other women also came back. Many of them brought back things that were not sold. Business is really bad today. Look, there's still half a basket of vegetables that haven't been sold. Me too. I didn't sell many of these silk flowers. With the travel expenses, I can't even cover the capital. Business is like this. It depends on luck. Sometimes if you're lucky you can sell it in a while. If you're unlucky you'll lose money. This business is not good. Yes, it's not good. Earning money is never easy. Let's take it slow. If we don't come out and try, we won't be able to earn a single cent. Anyway, we women can't do much farm work at home. Well, it's fine. I'll come again tomorrow. While they were talking, they got on the carriage and saw that Xuanhuan had already returned. Moreover, she had bought a lot of things in her basket. Needless to say, Xuanhuan must have sold the things she brought today. Only then would she have the money to buy these things. These women couldn't help but feel jealous when they saw this. Some of them asked in a sarcastic tone, "Yuner, you must have sold a lot of things today, right?" Xuanhuan replied faintly, "It's all right." "How is this okay? I think you sold it for a lot of silver, at least a few hundred copper coins. Don't you think so?" The other women also responded, "That's for sure. The things in this basket add up to a few hundred copper coins. The things sold will definitely be worth more than that." "That's really a lot of money. I sold it for so long, but I only sold it for 20 copper coins. You're tuning in to the Sword Dance in the Vast Sky YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.